Erica Olson, and welcome to Inside SoCal. For many students here in South LA, the thought of playing in an orchestra never crossed their mind. But this organization is changing that, and the result is music to our ears.
The summer of 2009, about 9 African-American high school instrumentalists approached me and said, "Mr. Dickerson, in essence, we need a youth orchestra in our community." There wasn't one that existed.
I was 11 years old at the time, and I was one of the original of 9 founding members of the orchestra. My friends and I came to Chuck at the end of the program, and we said that we need to continue with this ensemble because we see great potential in it.
Kids said, "We got to keep this going."
And why do you think they said that?
Because there was no real place for them to play.
And that's how it all began for the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles, a nonprofit organization that gives young musicians in communities of color the opportunity to learn and perform alongside their peers.
And ever since then, it's continued to grow to over now 100 students we have in the orchestra.
This was the first opportunity to play with people that looked more like you.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
You know, I didn't know what I needed until it actually happened. It felt like home. I've always just been the different one in my family and friends. And so coming here, I could actually be myself, my nerdy self, and they understood what that was. And then they looked like me as well. And so I didn't know I needed to be here, and I really, really did.
Do you think there's a lot of students who feel that way too?
100%.
The moment I saw them, I was in awe. It's like I needed to be in that orchestra.
Kamen plays the timpani, the rhythmic foundation of the orchestra. But he didn't stop there. He learned to play all of the other percussion instruments as well.
First day, I didn't know how to play a lick. I can tell you that. I couldn't play nothing. But that next week, I put in the work, and I was playing that song. And it's been the same ever since, just growing and growing and growing.
I play the violin. I've been playing for around 12 years now.
Juliana has been with the orchestra, I believe, since she was 11. And she just graduated high school. Now Juliana is our first recipient of the concert master training, which is like a very, very prestigious position.
She went from being somewhere
way in the back,
to first chair
to the very first chair.
I feel like commitment is for sure what ICO taught me, to like keep pushing, persevering, and I'm very proud of where I am now.
The vast majority of our young people come from communities of color. Why do they come here? Because, well, we don't cost. 2, we're close to where they live. 3, they feel like family here.
Classical music can be hard to access, especially when it comes to expenses with lessons, the instruments. This really opens up more opportunities for people in the community to experience music, and everyone should have that privilege.
Each year, their orchestral season culminates with a major performance. On July 14th, these students will have the privilege of performing at the world-renowned Walt Disney Concert Hall.
And it's important that these kids have that experience, because after all, the Walt Disney Concert Hall actually belongs to all of us. For our young people to see that they too can achieve that kind of excellence in their lives so that they are featured in front of their whole community, in front of one of the most iconic music venues in this country, that does nothing but uplift their spirits, uplifts their quality of play, uplifts their expectations of themselves.
Chuck believed in me more than I believed in myself. It was like, I see it in you, I see your motivation, your persistence, your grit, I see it in you, like you got this. And I kept going.
I am the very blessed and lucky one to have the privilege of working with all these kids and to be able to claim them as my own.
This is a family first, and so we care about how you're doing this week. We care about, do you have a ride to rehearsal? If you're standing here and your parents are late and whatnot, we'll get on the phone and say, don't worry, we'll bring them home. And so we build that family relationship with our students, and I think that's what keeps them coming back.
And that's a wrap for today. For Inside SoCal, I'm Erica Olson. We'll see you next week. Inside SoCal is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel.